Queen Margrethe of Denmark has been rushed to hospital after suffering a heart attack, and the news has understandably sent shockwaves across Denmark and the wider European royal community. The 86-year-old former monarch was taken to Rigshospitalet in Copenhagen, the country's largest and most advanced medical facility, where she is now being closely monitored by doctors. According to the official statement released by the Danish royal household, Queen Margrethe will remain in hospital over the weekend while she undergoes further examinations and observation. The message also confirmed that while the situation is serious, she is currently in stable condition and remains in good spirits, even though she is understandably tired after the incident. The royal house has made it clear that updates will only be shared when there is meaningful new information, asking for privacy and patience as medical staff continue to assess her condition. It is a short but worrying announcement, especially given Queen Margrethe's long and historic role as one of Europe's most respected monarchs. What makes this moment even more significant is the fact that Margrethe is not currently the reigning queen. After more than 5 decades on the throne, she officially stepped down in January 2024, handing over the crown to her eldest son, now King Frederik of Denmark. Her abdication marked the end of a 52-year reign, one of the longest in modern European royal history, and a transition that many described as both emotional and historic for the Danish monarchy. At the time she stepped down, Queen Margrethe was very open about the reasons behind her decision. She had been facing ongoing health concerns, including surgery that prompted her to reflect deeply on the future of the monarchy and her own ability to continue carrying such responsibility. In her New Year's address in late 2023, she explained that the experience had made her reconsider the weight of the crown and whether it was the right moment to pass responsibility to the next generation. Her words at the time were measured but deeply personal as she spoke about the impact of her health on her thinking. She made it clear that the decision was not taken lightly, but after 52 years of service, she believed the timing was right to step aside and allow King Frederik to lead Denmark into a new era. That decision was seen at the time as a rare and modern move in European royalty. Unlike many monarchs who remain on the throne until death, Margrethe chose to step back while still alive, still active, and still deeply involved in royal life in a more limited capacity. Even after abdication, she continued to represent Denmark at various events and remained a highly respected public figure. Now, this latest health scare has naturally raised concern once again about her well-being. A heart attack at 86 is a serious medical emergency, and although the palace statement has offered reassurance that she is stable, the fact that she remains under observation in hospital suggests doctors are taking no risks with her recovery. Across Denmark, reactions have been immediate and emotional. Queen Margrethe is not just a former monarch, she is a cultural icon who shaped modern Danish identity over more than half a century. Known for her intelligence, artistic talent, and strong sense of duty, she remained a deeply admired figure even after stepping down from the throne. For many Danes, she represents stability across generations. Her reign saw enormous changes in Europe and the world, yet she remained a constant presence in Danish life. That is why news of her hospitalization has resonated so strongly, even though she is no longer the reigning sovereign. What is also being closely watched is how King Frederik and the rest of the royal family are responding privately to this situation. While official updates have been limited, it is expected that close family members are either already with her or in constant contact with hospital staff as she continues to receive treatment. Medical experts, while not commenting on her specific case, generally note that recovery from a heart attack at her age depends heavily on early treatment, overall health, and how quickly the patient responds to care. The fact that she is described as being in good spirits is at least a positive sign, but the coming days will be critical in understanding her condition more fully. This moment also brings renewed attention to Queen Margrethe's remarkable life and legacy. Born into the Danish royal family, she became queen in 1972 following the death of her father, King Frederik IX. At that time, she made history as Denmark's first female monarch under the new Act of Succession, and she quickly established herself as a modern and intellectually driven ruler. Over the decades, she became known not only for her ceremonial duties, but also for her involvement in arts, culture, and national identity. She worked closely with governments while maintaining the symbolic independence expected of a constitutional monarch. Her reign was often described as steady, thoughtful, and deeply respected both at home and abroad. Even after handing over the throne, Margrethe did not fully retreat from public life. She continued to attend key royal events and maintained her presence as a senior member of the royal family, often appearing alongside King Frederik at important national occasions. Now, with this sudden health development, attention has shifted once again to her personal well-being and recovery. The Danish royal household has been careful with its wording, avoiding speculation and focusing only on confirmed medical updates. That restraint reflects both the seriousness of the situation and the desire to protect her privacy during treatment. Public reaction has also highlighted just how deeply connected she remains to the Danish people. Messages of support and concern have been pouring in, with many expressing hope for her swift recovery. Even those who celebrated the transition to King Frederick's reign have made it clear that Margrethe's place in Danish history is secure and deeply appreciated. In moments like this, royal families often become a focal point for national emotion, and Denmark is no exception. The image of a long-serving monarch suddenly facing a health crisis naturally brings reflection on time, legacy, and the human side of royal life that is often hidden behind formal appearances and official duties. For now, the key focus remains on her condition inside Rigshospitalet. Doctors will likely continue monitoring her heart function, overall stability, and response to treatment before deciding on the next steps. No timeline has been given for discharge, which suggests that medical staff are proceeding cautiously. The palace has promised to issue further statements when necessary, but until then, silence is likely to continue as Queen Margrethe rests and recovers. That silence, however, is not unusual in royal health matters, where updates are carefully controlled to avoid unnecessary speculation. What is clear is that this development has once again brought Queen Margrethe into the center of public attention, not as a reigning monarch this time, but as a beloved former queen whose life has been dedicated to service. At 86, she has already lived through a reign that shaped modern Denmark, and now the focus is simply on her health and recovery. As the situation develops, all eyes will remain on Copenhagen and the official updates from the Danish royal household. For now, the message is cautious, but slightly reassuring. She is being cared for, she is stable, and she is not alone in this moment. The coming days will determine the full picture, but one thing is already certain. Queen Margrethe's legacy ensures that any news about her health will always carry deep emotional weight, not just in Denmark, but across the entire royal world.